I'm super grateful to God. Yesterday, everything that could go wrong went wrong. I just moved and we just realized that there was water, like we were in between cooking and then we had no water. Wow. And then this morning there was a smelling, like something was burning and we couldn't identify what it was. I had to go to my old house, take my bath, and all of that happened. But you know, I just realized when I was in the midst of running and rushing around that whatever happens, you end up on the show and the show will go on fine and everything will be fine and you will be harassed all through. You'll be unhappy through the journey. So determine that in between everything, you'll be fine, and then put that in your head and be smiling through it all. So I was smiling. I went to join Jerry Eze's prayer 7 a.m. this morning. I was praying all through the entire drama, and I got into the studio 8:55 at the nick of time. And I thank God that it all happened well.
Listen, life happens. Yeah, and I think we've done this show long enough to know that, listen, if one person is going to be on the show today, it's going to be one person. This is Lagos. There's traffic issues, there are drama issues, lights go off, water goes off, everything goes off. Things happen in Lagos. So I think we have that understanding. So if it doesn't happen, it happens. And worst case scenario, we just go and beg Veronica. Veronica, just go and host the show.
But I love your dress, right? Like we're all looking very blinking, blank.
Hooked us up with
Ayalba fabrics.
Ayalba gave us fabrics this week. She gave us this week. And Tisma did her thing. Is this Ayalba's one?
Yeah, this is Ayalba too. Ayalba.
I couldn't get mine. The dispatch who was bringing my outfit said suddenly he cannot get to that area in the middle of night. So anytime I wear mine, I'll give a shout out to Ayalba.
Anyways, how you doing though?
I'm doing amazing.
Mom is not here. I don't know if it's traffic. I don't know if it's traffic.
But she's close. She's close anyway.
She'll join us once.
In between the show.
How are you doing? What are you doing today?
So today I'm going to finish the show and go home. Then I have my sister-in-law making food in the house. Wow. So when I get home, hopefully the fried rice and stuff will be ready. So I'll eat and first of all go to bed. I have some friends coming over later in the evening, just a few friends. So I need to rest before I attend to them.
Yeah, nice.
And I have to just bond with the kids.
My kids are begging for something to do. I don't know what to do.
They said we should go somewhere. Yeah, it's Christmas Day. I said, we just got into this house. This house is the somewhere that we're going to. So
they want activity. And I'm like, I said, there's corona right now. Stop going. We can't be going anywhere anymore.
Well, you can create, like what you did in the clip. Yeah, so movie, popcorn, snacks.
They're tired of watching movies every day. We finished catch up. Doing box office now. I'm doing Netflix. I mean, they're finishing my data like last night. So today they said that we're going to watch movie till tomorrow morning, to Saturday morning. I said no problem. I'm here. I'm available. There are plenty of snacks in the house. But so yesterday I made bangasso.
Yes, I saw it on Instagram.
How was it?
It tasted so good. My husband came ask for more.
Oh wow!
Everybody in the house ate it. Except my mother-in-law. My mother like, Mama ate it. Mama can't eat anything. Mama can't eat. Give Mama anything, she will eat. But my mother,
please remind people of Momo's age again.
Mama is 95.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. Like every time I think of it, it's just a bit,
sweet.
Yeah.
So it's Mama is fantastic. She's fun to be with, you know. Mama Brown can be a bit activity.
She's younger.
She's younger. She's more
a little bit into competition with you.
It's
part of it. We understand all this. We love you. We love you. My mother-in-law is around anyway.
But yeah, it's fun. So today,
how was the experience? Like you watched a YouTube video.
Yes.
You got the recipe based on the YouTube video. And you cooked it and it was perfect.
It had elemi meje. It had dry fish. It had fish. It had crayfish. It had prawns.
Aisha, when I come to your house,
it had goat meat. It had shaki. Everything was complete.
Wow.
It was. And I put enough banga, so there was a lot of stew, soup, and everything.
I like
that
idea.
What happens when you have recipes and you have measurements. So it's like the way you watch how they bake a cake with all, follow all the steps. You can do it for all of us.
I'm doing salad tomorrow.
Salad soup.
Salad soup.
Hey, do you have snails? Put snail in.
Hey, okay, snail.
You can arrange
it.
I have the snail number. Just, madam, deliver. Okay, let's go on the break. When we come back, we go through the did we read papers?
We didn't read. Take a few.
We'll just take the headlines.
Yeah.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
All right, let's start with the nation. COVID-19, new variant in Nigeria, not the UK type. We need more time to end insurgency, says President Buhari. We are waiting for border reopening, says traders. Ex-Grand Kandi Lemu dies at 91. CBN revokes 7 payment service providers' licenses. EU-UK agreed deal on Brexit trade. And picture here of the border. Absolutely no activity since the reopening was announced. And I think we can take, which story would you like to take? Let's stay with the insurgents.
So the president in his Christmas message has appealed to Nigerians to give him more time, that they are working towards solving insecurity problems, that they actually need more time. And he commended the efforts that were used to release the Kankara boys from abduction, saying that this is the time where we have to show peace, love, based on the reason for the season, and that we should not lose trust in an administration. They are working towards providing security for us. So I don't know what to respond to that.
Reporters have gone to check the Seme border, and they've seen that there are about 30 checkpoints just to get to Seme border. However, the checkpoints have returned, but the border is yet to actually begin activity. There are people going past, but I mean, I can understand.
I read in the paper yesterday that the government hasn't really opened for goods to move in between.
But here I can see it's actually locked, and I can somewhat understand. It might give them some time.
They're waiting for
goods to start putting together for shipping, but nobody is using that border for now, as we can see from the picture in the nation. Moving on now to Daily Sun. We are working hard to crush Boko Haram, says Buhari. Christmas IGB orders nationwide surveillance. ASU hits Sanu and Nats and Nasu, accuses union of chasing shadows. Governor seeks Southwest Development Commission. Autumn whips as gunmen kill 3 policemen, 2 others in Benue. Okay, which story are we taking here?
The governors. So the governors of the Southwest Zone are calling for the establishment of the Southwest Development Commission. According to their chairman, Rotimi Akeredolu, he said that it's going to help them bring unity among the region and contribute to its development. They've presented the memorandum to him, and he's waiting to see how. I think they've also organized a committee that will be handling the negotiation. So right now we haven't heard from the presidency. We haven't heard anything, any other additional detail concerning that. Let's see how it goes with the commission.
Okay. So ASU has said that the other unions should go and negotiate with the federal governments, that they've done their own by themselves, that they can't be here and they can't stop members from carrying out their duties because they called off the strike on their own part. And because remember ASU said yesterday in the papers that they go to ground the universities. They say you can't do that. That go and do your own negotiations.
So for me, Murayo, I think that there are 2 sides to this thing. Divide and rule is the way to go. Remember Commissioner Wabinima yesterday? People will try to bring cost division because when they're able to single one person out and they settle one person, the entire team will scatter. So the university system runs with ASU and NASU,
and all of them.
They all work together, none without the other. They've done it with the medical sector, where they will settle with the medical doctors and leave other medical practitioners, and they'll pay medical doctors but will leave others.
With all due respect,
if we don't work together, we cannot negotiate.
I do apologize. I do regret to say this, but it's been 9 months that this thing started. Where was SANU? Where were they when ASU was making noise all over the papers?
They were also making noise.
So we didn't see their noise, or we didn't hear about it. So the point is that when they came to negotiation table, where were they? Is it after they've sorted out ASU, we now start hearing from SANU?
But I think that ASU is, let me say, in hierarchy. ASU may be recognized as those that have more, a bigger body with more authority. ASU should have the responsibility of bringing them together. Okay, let's come together and
the government too should know that you cannot solve one person without having the other person, because the universities don't run by lecturers alone. The laboratory of technicians, non-academic staff.
I'd like to draw your attention to something that happened, and if I can take 1 minute. At the mall, we called the security guard, right, to help us carry stuff. Now, to help us carry the stuff, he wanted us to give him some money. Now, because there was a lot of stuff, he called 2 extra guys.
To help him.
There are 3 now. There are now 3. When they finished, my friend gave the security guards 1.5. Okay. Thinking everybody 500. By the time they went to go and meet, the guy that came to us, the first guy we went to meet, where's my money? He said, we've given it to that guy. He went to that guy and said, we only got 400 naira. So they said, you go and negotiate your own. This is Nigerian. This is Nigerian in a higher scale. So we're all the same thing. So the point I'm saying that it's the same activity that happened at that mall just 2 days ago. The same thing that's happening here. We're all together in this.
The medical sector.
Distrust amongst all parties. all of you agreed to, you are all 3 bodies or 4 bodies together.
But you're not working together.
You're not working together.
And you're working together in
and you now blame the person who is the giver.
Yes.
That, oh, you only gave someone 400, you gave this one 1,500. Come on.
But shouldn't the giver even have, okay.
I wouldn't know now.
Yeah.
Now that, listen, you're all together, you're all running universities.
I know, but on a large scale, you know that it's not just the lecturers who are handling universities. You know the importance of those other bodies. So the federal government should have
money. I have given 1.5 to go and share.
Yes, federal government has given them money. ASU now says they'll take 60%. That's the problem.
No,
and then 75%.
And give
Remember, federal government initially gave them 20 billion.
Yes.
They said it's not enough. They increased to 30 billion.
Yes.
Then they increased to 40 billion.
Yes.
While that was going on, why are you not talking to ASU and NASU and others? Okay, they are increased though. This is your own portion, that's your own portion. How does that affect the federal government?
We're making this discussion assuming that NASU and SASU are not talking and SANU are not talking.
That's the assumption based on
but if they are, they should do their own press release to say their own side of the story.
But in this case now, the federal government is supposed to be the father who knows all of those
carry everybody along.
Anyways. All right.
There's a story I would like to.
Which story?
I think it's in Vanguard.
Let's move on to let me find Vanguard because Christmas message: trust my government on security. Wow.
Oh, I've said that.
I wish I read that.
I've mentioned it.
NCDC Africa CDC differ on new strain of COVID-19. Southwest governors push for Development Commission. 344 million naira ransom. FG wasn't part of negotiations, says presidency. Woman robbed, raped to death in Edo. And no labs to carry out sample tests, custom tells Senate. Yes.
So that's the custom story I want to take. The Comptroller General of the Custom Services, retired Colonel Ahmed Ali, said that in the custom they had already made it known. He was addressing the Senate that they don't have laboratories to carry out samples, tests. They mentioned since last year that they don't have scanners. I wanted to get it right, that he said that we should recall that they inherited 2013 scanners, and they already mentioned that these scanners were not working, and the Senate has not replaced scanners for them. That right now, Custom has to manually, in the ports, search everything, and that is part of what causes delay at the ports. Also, when they are bringing things in, they have to send samples of the products to either SON or to NAFDAC or to other sister agencies to test it before they get the result. Now, I've had personal experience where one of my clients was saying that she brought in goods that had been certified from the country they were bringing it in, and that it took 3 months. Delivery had been done into Nigeria. Custom was saying they were checking. They sent it to SON, sent it to NAFDAC, and 3 months before she could get her goods out. So this clogs in our system disturbs entrepreneurs from being able to effectively carry out their job and lose money.
I think that in itself is a topic on its own.
Yes, because the Senate should address it.
Okay, let's see a story of the federal government responding to a Wall Street Journal reports that the kidnappers asked the Kankara boys, or asked for a ransom of 344 million. That's 1 million per child, according to the reports. But the federal government is saying that they didn't have any of such negotiations with the kidnappers. They were not involved in that. They did not pay any form of ransom, and that the governors that handled the negotiations, Katsina, the governor of Katsina State, and I think Zamfara said they did not pay anything, so we should believe them. In linking it to another story where they said the army was able to, get the kidnapped children back with a non-combative tactics that they're not going to expose to us how they used it. But the military is the only one that has such training. The bandits do not have, so it was an edge over the bandits.
We have to wrap up, unfortunately. We can't take other papers. The Punch, I was just going to take the headline very quickly. COVID-19 warnings dominates Buhari and governors' Xmas messages. Robbers stab Lagos airport's baggage carrier to death. Government killed 2 naval officers, 7 others in Kaduna and Kogi State. Sanwo-Olu long test negative. Lagos governor shares COVID-19 experience. Governors will meet on Southwest Development Commission bill, says Akeredolu. FG opens special registers for UK, South African passengers and threatens sanctions. And then FG picks NGO to monitor $311 million Abacha loot spending. Unfortunately, we can't take any of those stories. We're out of time. That's all we can take on Front Review. When we come back, I don't know if you live in this country, but many of us experienced issues with our ATMs yesterday. And many Nigerians are crying out, what is going on, especially a day to Christmas. Many couldn't have their Christmas shopping. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
to staying with us. So we wanted to celebrate today, but first we have to lament. But first, let's invite Mariam into the building.
Good to have you.
James
Merry
Bond
Christmas.
Moves.
Well
good to have
done.
you. Good to have you. Good to have you on the show.
You cannot share what happened, Abby.
No, I can't.
No, she cannot. But she's
But
here.
we thank God you're here.
That was important. She's here. Okay, so we're going to be opening our phone lines to here because the majority of our commercial banks left many customers disappointed yesterday because it was affecting the last-minute Christmas preparations for many. A lot of Nigerians are yet to access their hard-earned money. They say the unforeseen circumstances seriously having a toll on Nigerians. We'd like to take your thoughts. You can call us on 070. No? Yeah, we'll scroll the number. Okay, I think I have an issue with our phone lines, but we can get some tweets.
Tweets.
Tweet us at hashtag at TVC, hashtag your view, and we'll definitely read your tweets. We'd like to hear your thoughts because we know some of our leaders listen to us, and it's important that they know that we don't have access to our money. I mean, yesterday I experienced that. I was really upset because there was so much traffic, and I eventually got parking to a supermarket, entered, packed a few things, I got to the till, and I couldn't pay. I was really, I mean, I tried all my cards, nothing was working, and I wasn't happy about that. So I thought it was just me. But then when I now saw the tweets from many, see that was actually trending on social media yesterday, many people were having issues. Why did they do this to us? I mean, the day before, did you experience that?
For me it was transfer, and I noticed with T-Smart she was having difficulty using the
POS,
the apps to do transfer. And I don't think it is done to us. I think it is that we haven't made banks to hold them responsible for when their services fail. You know, they charge us for every service they are rendering to us, but we don't have any compensation for when they disappoint us, when we're expecting the charges from them, actions from them. So services not rendered should be punishable. Banks closed and ATMs were not filled with enough money. You could have a schedule to have someone on standby. You're getting paid for every time I use the POS. So why can't I have access to POS working? Why would I go to the ATM and it will be out of cash, out of cash, out of cash? You know that this would happen, that when you lock banks early, the places, ATM machines will be flooded with users, and there's need to have cash there. But for me, I think it's because they've never been penalized for these actions they carry out. So they get away with it. Their services they don't get punished for not rendering the right services. So we need to do that.
I agree with you. I think we need to get to a point where we start holding every service provider accountable for their actions. Because you sit down at home and you just see debit alert. They're charging you for maintenance. They're charging you for subscription. They're charging you for different things. You really need to go out there to tell you their network has failed. So I think that because of the unitary period, a lot of people will be needing their cash while they need to shop, especially those who have been working and they've not had time to shop. So today was a very serious day for people to need their cash. And then you disappoint them. So whether it's your network that is failing is not our business. We have paid for these services. We should have the services, otherwise you are penalized for it.
We have a customer complaints commission. I wonder what they're doing, because their job is to get these complaints and act on it. We've not heard from them so far, but lots of tweets. Brian, did you experience anything like this yesterday?
For me, it was you'd get an alert showing that you have used you had made a payment, but the alerts don't come on time. So what you get is you get alerts 2 days after or a day after, and you're unable to find the corresponding transaction. So I have that. So those were the issues that I have. But I think that the banking sector in Nigeria has gotten a lot of pass, and I think it's time that it face the consequences of their actions. Sometimes inefficiencies. Like everyone here has said, banks would charge you for everything, but would never compensate you for what, for not delivering on their services. And I think I've had this conversation many times, but it's not the first time I've had conversations about banks generally. And I think it's that we are not making complaints enough. There are not enough people, and we need to talk to the lobbyists in the house. So the lobbyists in the houses, we need petitions for specific banks and specific things that they have done, and see to it that they compensate people for this, and probably it will change.
I also think that service providers there's this thing about them in Nigeria where they feel that they're doing you a favor across board, whether it's customer service, whether it's the banks, the way they even talk to you sometimes. And I know that for this period, like yesterday, they would have worked half day. They usually work half day. Yeah. But then you should have made provisions, because you know that you're going to be closing by 12 or by 1 p.m. for your ATMs to be filled up, so that when you're not there, people can have access to, you know, getting their money to use for whatever it is they want to use. So I think people who handle this sort of who give this sort of services should be trained to understand that I'm not doing you a favor. You are patronizing me. You are my customer, and I should treat you right.
We have to wrap up on this. I
wanted to just add something. Another thing I realized is that the systems are not capable of taking the traffic. So when a lot of people come into their system, or many people are using the transfer all of that at the same time, you have things like it's delayed or it's not going through. So like Mariam said, maybe we're not saying it enough, but I also feel like we're not formalizing our complaints. So if there is a way we can have like a class action, because yesterday was a major one. Many people had issues yesterday specifically. If there's a class action against one bank and we can get judgment against one bank, there will be major difference, because that's how the developed countries were able to get businesses to up their game, was because there were prosecutions and they know that they might give me one bill that doesn't make sense.
So that's it with our lamentation, because I mean we're not really happy about that yesterday. It was important for us to let our especially the Customers Complaints Commission to know that we're not happy that we couldn't access our hard-earned money yesterday to make our families happy today. We're going to go on a quick break. When we come back, we're going to have to talk about a few things. When you keep malice with your spouse during the holidays, how do you settle? Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So, ladies of Your View, somebody brought this matter to me on Twitter. She and her husband have been keeping malice for 2 weeks.
Wow, that's a long time.
She's been trying to break the ice for the past few days, because it's Christmas season and they have to have a conversation, you know. In fact, she said that they wanted to get things for the kids, new clothes and that kind of stuff, but she just busted. She noticed the guy was not receptive. But now she just feels like everybody's happy, everybody's sharing stories and, you know, of joy and peace and happiness, but she's just feeling frustrated because her husband has refused to have a conversation.
Yay.
So I'm bringing this matter to the ladies. How do we help Auntie to break the ice? I mean, I would have said, go and do the do.
Yeah,
but if he's not ready,
the guy is not ready to do the do.
How do you get?
He doesn't want to see her face.
Will you tie him?
She asked her what happened, though, because that one doesn't concern me. And it's just simply asking me what, regardless of what happened, you're still a couple, you still live in the same house.
No, it's not regardless.
That's an important factor.
Yeah, it depends on what it is. I mean, I don't understand how anyone, especially in this period, because for many people, if you're married, you know that there's some important occasions where you just put everything aside to enjoy the occasion. But if someone, because I'm not that sort of person that can keep malice for a long time, I don't understand how anyone would do that except if it's so serious and probably unforgivable. But if it isn't, bros, what's happening? I mean, for those that like to cook, I guess go and pound the poundo yam. And then this time around, do not expect anything from him. So maybe she's trying and she's expecting back that he tries with her. Don't expect anything, since you're the one that is pushing for the reconciliation. So just do your best. Make life easy. Do the foot massages, the head, you know, massage, the back. Well, okay, now that's a whole different problem. That means you are not even seeing him. He's not in the house.
No, even if you're seeing him, he's not giving you
But the point is that, how does somebody in that kind of situation break the ice? You know, I mean, I have been in that situation a few times where, you know, I think I can keep my list and just, and I think the person I'm keeping my list is a professional malice keeper.
Pro max.
So me, I think I'm keeping my list, and like 2 days, I'm like, how far? And the guy is like,
we're just starting.
I'm still warming up. I can do this. And I think I've shared that story before. I think it happened that there was 2 whole weeks.
Wow.
Myself and Brown, we not talk for like almost 2 weeks. because I can't remember what happened. But
please,
I wasn't talking
2
to
weeks.
him.
What do you do?
We're on the same bed.
Okay.
We lie down, sleep. He'll do his own. I do my own. go to my bathroom, have my bath, everything. I don't take him to school. We're just roommates.
Wow.
And we kept that malice. I didn't talk to him. He didn't talk to me. Come back home, food is ready. Go and eat. Go to.
And so you make the food.
No, you eat now. Of course, you eat, but you don't.
Yeah. Even if you need something, he will say, "Give me the food."
He has mind to eat.
He won't even ask for the food. Once the food is there, he will dish and eat and leave and go and do it. Wow. So me, I think I was really angry. I said, I'm not going to talk to this. I'm not, waiting.
So you started.
In fact, interestingly, we're going to church together. He will enter the car. I will enter the car. The kids will enter the back. We're not talking. I like church.
Marriage in a marriage.
We're not talking. But I think after we kept that for almost 2 weeks, I was now getting angry because I felt that these guys should stop now.
Yeah.
By now, he didn't even look at me. So now I said, Brown, I can't remember how I started the conversation. I now broke the ice and I started the conversation. I said, so you're going to keep malice, we're not going to talk. This is how we're going to start marriage, no talking. I said, listen, you're keeping malice. I'm ready. I can do this for 1 year. And I'm
it was you that started it.
I will do it because I started the malice because he's the kind of person that he gets angry, screams down the house, 5 minutes later, and he moves on. Me, I am brewing. You just shouted. I'm still upset. I'm thinking about why you're upset. I need time to process that anger, why it came, what happened, how can I avert it from, I'm processing it for 1 week. So I'm still sulking. Don't just say you're moving on.
But in your case, Mariah, it was not when you were ready to break the ice, he listened to you.
He listened, absolutely.
So you had the conversation.
So was me, Abby?
But this person is unable to have a conversation.
Okay. But may I say that, first of all, my father-in-law always says that when trouble is squatting, it's easier to push it down than when the trouble stands up. So as a married woman, it starts from the root. The anger is there. You are not able to have a conversation. Then the malice is starting. Then you let it linger for up to 2 weeks. At this point, when you now want to come back to the table, it's more difficult than if you had trashed today, this thing you did, well, you're not going anywhere. Let us talk about it and resolve it immediately. So personally, I wouldn't advise anybody to keep malice for that long. How would I sleep on the same bed with you? And I won't even check on you if you're snoring or push. I won't do anything. And then we go on like that for days.
That leg
I won't be comfortable. And as a man, some men have mind though. Your wife is not talking to you, you will sit down and eat the food. You don't think about such things. No. So I know that it may not be that extreme, but do not let it linger to a point where it's now very difficult. Now you have gotten, it's lingered and it's very difficult. Why do you want him to talk to you? Is it because of the Christmas? You need to ask yourself. Or is it because you need money from him to sort out the children? Or because
it's holidays.
This is a season. That's sorting out because it's holiday. Are you trashing the issue that caused it in the first place? Or you just want to overlook it because of the holiday, let's celebrate with family and friends, and then the issue still lingers. So it's not about being in a hurry to sort it. It's about sorting it properly, finding out the root cause, what has happened, and ensuring it doesn't repeat itself again. Forward, ongoing, so that it's not after the celebration, so we now go back to square one, and he starts.
But Bisi, what she's saying is that as for now, to break the ice is what she's asking.
So the lady wants to
very quickly say before you enter the house, enter the room, lock the door. Either you swallow the key or put it somewhere. Naked. Today,
naked though.
No, why can't you?
Naked. We gotta do something. No. I'm like,
hide the key.
We naked.
Meaning that we have to sort out this issue.
If you need to kneel down and pray, just naked in yourself in front of your husband.
Naked in yourself. Yes,
can we say no, it's between husband and wife. The wife that's trying to resolve the situation.
We use it so many times.
Okay. The truth is that I think that there's nothing you should hide from your spouse. And there is the best way to get peace is when you open up yourself and your vulnerability 100%. I cannot continue living like this. So it's both symbolic in being physically in that state as well as being emotionally open So you let him know, like, I would kneel, I would beg, I would cook, I would lie, I would do anything. Like, whatever you want, let's resolve this issue. That's what it is. But there's another part. That's the tension in the family. Yes. So you might not be keeping malice, but there is tension. And many people have tension this season. Have had tension this season. Like, when I say tension, even my husband just look at me, I'm like, this life, take it soft now. Because he lost someone very recently, and whenever he thinks about it, and my heart goes out to all the family of Tunde Thomas, is a very strong, he's been very supportive of my husband, and the man just slumped. And so my husband was like, see, I just lost someone. This life, it can't, whatever it is cannot be that bad. Calm down. But I'm just like, I want to arrange the house. Mark, you're not helping me. Carry the box. I want you to do this. So I realized that for all through this week, I've been dishing out pressure. I've just been putting so much pressure. I'm like, you're not carrying this. Help me. This morning, he woke up. I was like, my darling. I said, please, can you carry this box for me? He's like, is that the first thing you tell me in the morning? I said,
he didn't even greet. He didn't kiss. He didn't hug.
Christmas morning. So just realize that you need to calm down. And we need to remind ourselves. So I said, I'm sorry. I just carried the box by myself and went downstairs because the season and the financial pressure and the family pressure and the whatever we're doing might put you on the edge. So we need to deliberately tell ourselves because you might not, whoever is watching might not have a spouse that'll say, calm down. So you might bring in that heat and he's also bringing in the heat. So you have a lot of strife and quarrel within the house. It is not the season for quarreling. So if you are in that space where you are quarreling or you're fighting, please just use this show we're having now as a moment to face each other and say, I love you, let's make it work.
For taking us there, because even aside from the season, this year has been horrific.
Yes.
So we are winding down. I think we're all reflecting from January to date. We should be grateful. So we should all be in that grateful mode. Thanking God for the fact that we are alive. So that in itself is enough.
Let me borrow you my husband's language.
Set aside
this soft life. This life, let's take it soft. Hard life kills people. Use it soft. Just everything. He says whenever he sees anything stressful, just say, Mark, take it soft. It's a soft life. And I think we need to remind ourselves because sometimes we get carried away and there's pressure. Just, I think it was yesterday, someone was looking, people look at you and say, anything for Christmas. I was driving into TVC. From the gate, everybody's looking at you like, and I'm wondering, I would love to do a whole lot, it's there. And sometimes it's subliminal. So and that's the worst part. You're not conscious of what you're doing. It's in your subconscious. So let's take a conscious approach to mending fences, breaking the wall when it comes to malice within your home, and deliberately building joy in this season.
So that auntie has gotten some advice.
I think it's more for the husband actually, because she is trying her best to have the conversation. So we're hoping that the husband is listening, and we're saying, put the anger aside and have the conversation at first. Sometimes it's even better to let the person understand what they have done wrong, and then you can have a headway from there.
Marriage is two ways. We need to understand that. So it's not one person bringing in a 50% and the other person giving 100%. You need to be in this together. Can two work together except they agree? So both of you should be putting it 100%. Now, it doesn't mean that challenges won't come. It doesn't mean that your spouse will not get you upset. It doesn't mean that you won't quarrel. Those things are there, but understand something, that there is nothing serious happening in the universe. No matter how big it is, it's something that a conversation can sort it out, as long as two of you are understanding each other.
That's going to bring, when we come back, we'll extend the conversation to friendships. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Yay.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So we're still on the issue of malice, but this time we're extending to friendships. How many of you have kept malice with people this year? And it's time for us to start reviewing those friendships and start apologizing, I would say, or see the ones that you want to totally discard. You don't want to try, you don't want to cross over to 2021. So there are many of these issues.
In friendship, we need to define malice.
Define malice.
Because you see, if I don't talk to you and I did not see you, is that malice?
If genuinely you did not see you, not the one you saw and pretend.
No, I did not see. And I did not talk to the person. It's not malice now.
What is it? I'm just asking, really, I want to know, what is that?
He's minding your business.
He's
drinking water and
minding my business. You know, it's not malice. It's not like, it's not out of bitterness. It's not like I want to show someone. You know, because I think that sometimes, and I'm trying to just defend something, but let's define it. So I think malice is when I deliberately look at you and decide that because I walk away from you, I don't want to have anything to do with you. I want to show you I can do without you. You're not, but I want to just, like, I want to deal with you. That's malice. Sometimes we confuse malice with finding peace. And some friends, you stay away from them because you're trying to find peace. And then they can define it as you're keeping malice from them. And I've been in that situation, someone says, you do not talk to me, you're keeping malice. And I'm like, no, I'm finding peace. And I realize that you are not bringing me peace.
Yeah, together. Yeah, so for me too, I'm not a malice kind of person. I'm unable to do that. I'd rather have a conversation. But I'm very good at taking myself out of a situation. If it does not bring me peace, if there's always negative energy, if every time I'm in your presence or we've just had a conversation, I go away feeling bad, you know, I know how to take myself out of situations like that. And it's no anger, it's no bitterness, you know. I'm not wishing you ill. I don't want any bad thing to happen to you. I just want whatever blessings that you're enjoying should be done away from my own blessings. So I understand about malice in itself. For me, I don't think I can go long period just deliberately, consciously not speaking to someone to prove a point. My way to prove a point would be to have this conversation with you and we trash it. Like recently, there's someone that I would have considered a friend and she accused me of something. And no matter how I have explained where I'm coming from, she's refused to see it from my perspective. It's so hurtful. I'm like, why is it so easy for you to want to believe that this is what it means, what I'm trying to do, even though I have explained it to you. So for me, it just shows that there was no love in there in the first place. You never trusted me in the first place. So I'm going to take myself out of this situation, and that's it.
Interesting. For someone like me, those who know me, that I've been bashed, bruised, punched,
the story you just said was
everything, like, you know, that's just the kind of person I am. I just have that, I've been able to take it all in, you know, and God has just given me that grace to just accept that is how God has created. I wish I could be more like busy sometimes. I see and I'm like, I think when you can just say, you can double also say, you know,
don't mind busy.
You can
face is louder than
face the situation. But I never try to face it. I just move away from it. And that's my worry. And because I move away from it, people now think, oh, Mariah is not this kind of person. But I just leave.
But is it right? I want two of you to help address that, because what you just said is exactly what I do too. I will not deal with the situation. I know I'm evasive, like I've diagnosed, I'm a coach, but I've not been able to find a solution to what I'm doing, because I just feel like I want my peace, so I will stay away. I will evade the conversation. I will evade the situation.
You're not confrontational.
And I won't confront the person. I will not have that conversation. She knows I won't have that conversation. I'll just feel like I'll excuse away whatever you've done wrong, and I will move away and stay in my own lane and have my peace. But I've had that issue with her, and she confronted me that you have been behaving funny. And it brought peace, in a better kind of peace than the one that my staying away was having. So help us.
So naturally, confrontational. So I like when I'm into a relationship, I like to be all in. It's either we are all in or we are nothing. I can't go halfway. I don't like to meet you. You know, I'm trying. Is it working? Is it not working? Or are we real? Are we not real? I'm very genuine. So if I have to give my heart to you, that this is my friend and I love you, I expect you to give me the same. So when I do not get it and I see some funny things, I would call you and say, okay, Abi, oh boy, this thing you're doing, what is happening? Can you tell me exactly what is happening? And I'm also very easy to apologize. I apologize easily. If you tell me that I've hurt you, because it's not my original intention to hurt you, it's easy for me to say, I'm really sorry, I didn't mean it like that. If you meet me from afar, or you see me from afar, you will think that I am difficult because of I come on strong. It's just the way God has made me. I'm very assertive. But when you come close, you realize that everything I'm saying, I'm playing most of the time. That when it really comes to my relationship with you.
When you know somebody who is toxic, somebody who for them, they think they are giving you value, but you know that you're not getting value. What you're getting more is harm to yourself, to your emotions, to your well-being. How do you let go of that person, especially as we're wrapping up the year, and you don't want that person to cross over to you with you to the 2021?
Okay, so I wouldn't use the word malice. because I had to cut out a few family members this year. I realized that all of the relationships I've had with those people had been toxic. It was affecting my mental health. I just kept saying, they are my blood, they are my blood. They will do again. I was like, they are my blood. My husband would say, let it go. Don't worry, let it go. But it came to a point where I had to tell myself, I don't even take this from other people. Why am I doing this? Because it's family. And I had to remove myself from that situation. And I said, never.
So you don't pick the calls?
No. I block everybody.
Everywhere.
Because my mental health is very important. Now, there's something I learned, that you cannot give a love you do not have. The first thing is to love yourself. So in loving myself, there are certain things I cannot take. I cannot put myself in a situation where you treat me somehow because I just want to be a good person. I want you to love me. I want you to see me as, she's motherly. I'm not your mother. I have my own children to deal with. They are still growing. So the best thing to do is to create your boundary. I know it's difficult for especially your kind of temperament.
Honestly.
But you can learn to start being assertive, small. You create your boundaries. I'm sorry, because they say you train what you tolerate. When they do it the first time, the second time they say, no, this is not Mariah, don't worry, you will get away with it. But you now start creating your boundaries. The first times it may be tough when you say that, and then you're asking yourself, hey, let me just tell this person no now. Let me just shun this person.
I think
but over time, as you start creating those boundaries, you sort of get used to it, and you see the peace that comes around staying with somebody who's not toxic.
I think maybe the question is, how do you balance keeping this person outside of your, your space, but also maintaining like a cordial relationship? So I've taken this person out of my space, but I heard that she lost somebody. Do I reach out? Do I send my condolence messages? I heard she's not feeling well. Do I send, those sort of things. So for some people, it's like, I don't even want to know what is happening in your life completely. I would take time out and send you those messages. I may not call you, but I'll send you a text message, just so that you know that my wish for you is I wish you well. I just don't want to have to be a part of the process.
I wish you well does not necessarily mean I would tell. Did you tell me you lost somebody? I don't know. Understand something. I do not attend a party. Hold on. I do not attend a party that I'm not invited, because if I break plates, we have to pay for it. So if you do not open your mouth.
I was not talking to BC, and she turned and she became the president. I would send her well wishes.
I wouldn't send you if you don't tell me you're the president.
I would.
So you see, it's about personality.
Yes, when I move on, I move on.
On my end, I will just have a conversation. And I think that we need to start having the conversations. It's tough. It's very, very tough for me. It's not my nature. But I'm hearing you, and I'm telling myself I will start having those conversations.
I love conversation. For me personally, everybody, I don't have known the people that I have issues with, but there are a few of them, and I've tried to approach one or two of them. One of them, we had a conversation, we talked it out, and we've been able to understand. So we're now on that one-on-one.
We're cordial.
We're not chummy, but we're cordial. One or two, the others, we haven't had that conversation because maybe we're not ready for that conversation, but at some point we'll have that conversation.
Exactly.
When we do,
sometimes
I know, I'm giving it time. So definitely I will have that conversation at some point. But I think at the end of the day, the truth is that, just like you said, those around you, keep those who you know that actually work well with your well-being. Keep them around you. Those who you feel they're not well, you can cut them off. But at some point, because at the end of the day, we're all in this life rat race. We're all trying to just achieve. At the end of the day, I don't hate you, you don't hate me. We just have differences. We're all good. So at some point, let us find a way to thrash the issues and mend the fences.
And also be careful that you're not the toxic one.
Because you may not know.
You may not know.
Yeah, you are thinking everybody hates me. Madam, you are the one.
We can wrap up on that. Let's go, everybody. When we come back, we'll not talk about sharing gifts this Christmas. Woo, woo, woo. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So on this last segment, remember on Monday the ladies picked dips, which will make us exchange gifts amongst ourselves today. we'll be unveiling our gifts this morning, but also wanted to talk about sharing gifts. Imagine getting a gift you're not really happy about. So let me just really confess now. Because people get gifts that you're like, what is this? But what the lady set out to do was use 3,000 naira to shop for each other, just to show that you can actually look within and see what you can do. Something very small, and that your guest, the receiver can actually appreciate. So, Tokwe, you want to start first? Tell us exactly what you're able to get. Don't tell us the person yet, but just tell us what you did and how you.
Okay, so the person I picked is someone that likes jewelry, and she's very girly. She already knows herself. And I was in between I wanted to get a scarf, and like instead of jewelry, but we couldn't get scarves, so I now got two. A pearl and 2 earrings. So she knows herself already. I picked Mariam.
What if it's not me?
When I say girly, they already know. So Mariam, Merry
Christmas. I love it. So beautiful.
When I saw the pearl, I was like, I've not seen you really do pearls like that. But I know Mariam likes jewelry.
I do. Thank you so much.
How come I didn't know you like jewelry?
Mariam.
You don't notice.
Mariam. Hey. No, it's between the two of them. Mariam number 1 and number 2.
No, I'm not that girly.
Okay, all right. Bisi, tell us, how did you manage your 3,000 naira?
Okay, so first of all, I remembered the scriptures when God wanted to use Moses, and he said, what is that in your hand? And I remember, I think it was Elijah, Elisha, that decided to bless. I'm telling you, hold on. That wanted to help the widow to pay off her debts. I said, what is that thing you have in the house? And I looked around, because naturally, I don't know how to buy gifts, so to speak. So 3,000 won't even, if I want to get a gift, not 3,000. I'm wondering, what would I do with 3,000? I don't know. So I said, okay, what is that thing you have in your hands? And I now looked at the name of the person I picked. I'm like, I know exactly what she will need, homemade. So you can see that this is from a jewelry, this wrapping paper. I didn't even spend 1 naira. Wrapping paper from a jewelry that I had. So I just took that out. Who can help me open this? Sharp.
Keep talking about the gift while I'm opening it.
So I now went into my fridge. I saw some carrots. I've learned some skills as a housewife. I know how to do certain things. And I checked my pantry. I saw my coconut oil. I saw my olive oil. And I decided to do a homemade carrot oil for my recipient. She will need it to glow her skin. And I came
it's so pretty.
So creative.
So who did you pick?
Mariah, you're going to be glowing in carrot
So this will help me. So I use it every morning?
Yes, for your
I've used it
skin.
before.
I know
It's
you
really
use
nice.
natural products.
It's really nice.
It's so nice.
Yeah.
So I just use a little, wait, before I
Apply
make
like your cream.
Like normal cream.
It's good on your face and your body.
I'm starting immediately.
Thank you, but this is more than 3K, sha.
No.
It's carrots.
So the carrots is
carrots
like 100 naira something.
Yeah.
And I
And that
blended,
oil,
then I had the oil,
Oh, fantastic. Nice. Thank you. All right, Maria.
You already know who the next person is. So I got this for Tokwe.
Okay.
Tokwe is moving house and she's decorating. And I know one of the things she wants to put at her entrance is on her console. She wants to put like a vase, a bowl with, you know, decorative things. So I got her pot puree. And then she's talking about her jacuzzi that she's just fixed and she wants to. So again, got her candles that she's going to put all around.
I'm going to soak in jacuzzi today. I'm going to soak in jacuzzi. I'm going to take candles. I will light the candles.
Nice. Okay. So I guess you guys already know who I got. I got BC.
How did we pick it like this? So I wouldn't really open everything, but I'll tell you what happened. So I know BC likes to read books. She loves reading books. And I saw a book about something being a millionaire overnight. Something about get rich tomorrow. This is BC. So that was about, I think about 1,800. And I bought a nice purse. Like a small bag for like makeup stuff, you know, that nice. And so I used the money, and then I picked up other stuff that I have in the house just to buff it up a bit. So Merry Christmas, darling.
Thank you.
See, I used my money wisely.
I'm going to be a millionaire very soon. I have all it takes now to be a millionaire.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, so they want you to open it. I think they want you to open it.
Okay, we should open it. Okay, let's see what we have here.
Oh, so we're going to be talking about inappropriate gifts. But I really tied that one. I don't know if you can open it.
We reopen it.
Hey, now wow.
You can open yours too.
Yeah.
Or you can.
So that's what you see. 1 minute millionaire.
The one that transforms your life and makes you
this is a good book.
Mark Victor
It's
Hansen.
a good book.
You read that book?
Yes, it's a good book. It's a good book.
So I saw it. I said yes. That is. So the book is a real gift.
That's the real
just
gift.
extra stuff. I just picked up in the house and the little purse.
I like the purse.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. That's nice.
We've seen your candles and copper.
Yes, so I don't need to open it because.
Okay, so we're going to be talking about getting gifts you don't like. How do you handle that? That happened to me before.
Yes, so I think you should. You don't
call names.
Let me not share that story.
No,
yeah,
because if I share that story.
But for me, I think it's not about the gifts. It's the thought behind the gifts. Now, some people may look at you and say, I don't know what to get. Like, I've been wanting to get a gift for YK. But I look at YK, I'm like, YK has everything. What do I give to someone like YK? Then probably I ask, okay, let me do something small. And then because she doesn't, it's not something she can use, her looking down on the gifts and not looking at the thoughts behind the gifts will be unfair. So it's not every gift you get that you would use, you know. Sometimes it's for you to even give to the next person who you know really needs it. Sometimes for you to keep somewhere, it will come in handy a few months, a few years down the line. So it's the thought behind the gift that we should focus on and not whether the gift is bad. Okay, let me even give you a story. So during my marriage, some people now put some gifts. You know, they have a way of hiding gifts in the envelope. I now say a very big envelope, and you open, I see 100 naira. Why did you have to put 100 naira inside that envelope? It's unfair, you know, but...
Because you had expectations.
Exactly, with that kind of big envelope. But it's not for me to go ahead. Look, calm down now.
If I earn 5,000 naira monthly, and I give you 100 naira, trust me, that's value.
No, buy plates.
If I give you 100 naira,
you can put it in the box. Don't wrap it and wrap it and wrap it big.
The money is by
as in.
So I feel like you're talking to me because I love to package stuff. I mean, this didn't cost me 3,000 naira. But I went out of my way to make it even pretty. So for that person that may have sent you just 100 naira, I thought, let me look for that brown envelope to show respect, you know, this is someone like this. And you know people that want to give money, they'll be looking for brown envelope to put it in. So just accept it.
So I did. For me, the thought wasn't that the gift was bad. I understood
all the stress.
Exactly, all the, I understood that. And I didn't judge the person. That's what I'm saying, that at the end of the day, there's a thought behind it. There's no good or bad gift.
You're very correct. That's
okay, so for me, I agree with there's no good or bad gifts, but I also feel that we should be wise when choosing gifts for people, and we should try and understand where they are. And you, like when you said YK now, for YK, I've also struggled with giving YK gifts. So I look at what I feel she needs. So when I heard YK say, I don't have, like she said it once or twice, she doesn't have a pink iPhone, iPad case then. I was like, okay, so I know what I can get for YK. And then I wore my white green dress and I say she loves that. I said, okay, I'll get that for YK. So it's not, I don't do like a birthday or anything. Randomly, if she says anything that she says she likes, yes, I'll look for how to, give it to her.
The gift I gave YK, I was so happy I gave her. I got her a makeup box. Oh, she needed that makeup box so bad because before then, she used to put all her makeup in the bag, small bags, and we carrying it. So I got that's when these new boxes started coming out. So I got this the layered boxes. And
is that the one
she
pink one?
I think now she's probably discarded it. Another one. But then it was so useful.
It was a big deal.
And it made me feel so good. Like,
because she was using it every day.
It was something she could use.
So I think that we should do that. And I love BC's gifts. You know, because you can't fault something done. You know, so you bring me a Zobo drink that you made, and you're like, this is what you can give to me. You know, so I think that there is no good or bad gift, because for me, the person that thought of giving you something is what counts, and we should go out of our way to show enthusiastic appreciation for what you get, regardless of whether you like it or not. Because we don't. I tend to not be enthusiastic about my appreciation. I say, oh, thank you,
and you move on.
And I move on. But I've realized, I've learnt it the hard way, that you should thank them. Please, if you are like me, thank them the day you get it.
And
you
the
must
next
do it
day.
very well. Thank them the next day after you get it. Because it's really, really important.
What about gifts? Every year I give the mechanics on my road. I live on a street that have mechanics, you know. And every year I give them rice. So this year I thought we are all in the city, we are all in the mood of COVID. COVID has hit all of us, and we are all understanding that people's pockets are not as robust and like they used to be. These guys came yesterday. So where's our rice? I said, Holy Spirit. I thought COVID. They said, COVID don't move, COVID don't move, and I'm like, COVID don't move, no, our rice. I had to call Nima immediately. I said, Nima, please supply. Because I thought that we're all under that assumption
we should not be understanding.
That we understand these are the season. No, things are not. Everybody's not as rosy as it was last time. But nobody, people want you to give.
So I like what you said about enthusiastic appreciation, and it's because Santa came to the house this morning, and the children were excited. And we got something. No, of course. I just mean that Daddy is Santa. So, but. My son and my daughter got gifts that they had wanted for years. And my son, when he saw it, was like, wow, thank you. I can't believe it. Aima was all over the floor. This is a miracle. I cannot believe this. Oh my God, my very own. I was like, no wonder God loved David. I mean, it was enthusiastic appreciation. It was all, for me, I was like, I've learned something from this girl. I need to show enthusiastic appreciation. She was just all over screaming and shouting. Her dad was all smiles,
you know. Talking about enthusiastic appreciation. Biggie drinks, let us drink, so.
Thank you. Honestly, I've learned it because I've been a recipient of, I did some little things earlier in the year for some people, and the way they appreciated, I'm like, it's like it wasn't, for me, it wasn't a big deal. It was just, I saw something and I got it. And then they just kept saying, thank you, thank you, thank you. And I liked the feeling. And you know, we know God likes to be appreciated. And there's a God in everybody. You know, there's this thing that praise singers, why do people, they get money? Because when they hail you, you just feel it. So I think that if you've gotten any gifts, please go out of your way.
So I used to think that I was someone who didn't care about plenty appreciation. So once I give it to you, tell me thank you once and move on. Till I now give people things. And some people came back to say thank you. As I could see the genuine thank you they were giving to me. Then others just saw me the next day and moved on. And I felt bad. I was like, but you're not this kind of person. So what's happening? So at some point, everybody just needs to feel that no matter how little it seems, that you appreciate from the bottom of. So I told myself, you see this one that did not come back to say thank you the second time, me, I'm not giving again.
So I think we've learned a new phrase this morning. Enthusiastic appreciation is the word for the season. Yes. It's the phrase for the season.
Anything
no matter what they give you, be enthusiastic about it. Show
you see the next day again, thank you so much.
With all your body. You know, so if you are Yoruba, people like drama. Roll on the floor. Hey,
I have one tweet I need to read. Because genuinely, tell yourself again that this person thought of me and bought it for me. You know.
Tweet please, we have to wrap up.
Chigozie McDom says, Mo Akabash, like she's hailing everybody. BC Ugbo is boning straight this morning. TMO speaks, beautiful ladies. Merry Christmas to you all. And Andrew Freedom says, good morning, ladies. I have family today. I'm not at the office at home. From Mo Akabash with the Gele. Royal look to TMO speaks, also looking royal. BC looking like she's going to a royal ball. And of course, and all of us are looking like we're very royal. Thank you so much. Thanks for the Twitter. Just praising all the Twitter complimentary.
Rina says, Merry Christmas to you all. May this season bring good tidings. They're just praising.
As in compliments.
Rukaya Tani Adeni says, what happens when it's a long-distance marriage with regards to malice? Abdullahi Abubakar says, to me, you just come straight and make me feel important by saying, baby, I'm sorry, which is difficult for most women. It's not for most women.
Not for you guys.
Then while the ladies look like Jesus. Wow, Merry Christmas to you all. Preslima online store says that. Senna Emekam says, I don't know if some banks are experiencing network issues this period. Even most people that did transfers via ATM pay points were getting feedback of money not being received while they had been debited for hours. Now, so we go day.
Okay, we have to wrap up very soon. So I think that that tweet caught my attention, the one about the long-distance madness. Yeah. The truth is that when you look at this year, how the year has been, people have lost loved ones. People have lost their businesses. Many people have not been able to rebuild since COVID, since actually the NSAS protest. Many people have destroyed their homes for different reasons, you know. So the truth is that you have your spouse or whoever it is that's abroad and they are long distance and there are issues. But life is too short. And I like to go out. I'll also pick from Mr. Mark today. Life is soft. Don't harden it. No matter what anybody, there's nothing new on that. So Yoruba said, okay. There's nothing coming from above that the ground cannot catch, take, or manage. So no matter how hard an issue is, let's find a way to resolve it. It's thorny, it's hard, but somebody has solved it before. There are different ways of solving it. And you walk away, you face it, or you don't even deal with it at all. And the best way is always to face it, or you walk away from it. So no matter what it is, just face it, apologize. Apology doesn't really take anything from you. Apologize. It's hard, but just do it. Because as you said something very important, when the trouble is squatting, that's when you should crush it. Don't let that trouble stand up. Once it stands up, it's harder. But it doesn't mean it's not insurmountable. You can still bring it down.
So if your own trouble is squatting, deal with it. If it's already standing, you can still deal with it.
You can still deal with it. Okay, so as we wrap up today, we want to wish you a Merry Christmas and a very Happy New Year. And please have an enthusiastic appreciation of all your gifts. Back down. See you tomorrow. Tomorrow is Monday.
Monday.
No break.
Have a lovely weekend.